guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, I'm Joycelyn Binwe, a content creator based in Douala, Cameroon. Guys, in this video I'm bringing you guys something so juicy, some very important tips on how to reduce food wastage at home. Very useful kitchen tips that is going to help us all to reduce food wastage. We all know that the economy is things are getting so hard, especially in our country Cameroon, and I know in other parts of Africa and the world. So we need to look for methods that is going to help us reduce food wastage and of course save us some money. Please you guys, before you start watching this video, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there, you guys, and turn on your notification bell. The first thing I would like to talk about is that we should plan for our weekly menus well ahead of time, so that we know what we are going to buy from the market. And before grocery shopping or shopping for food for the house, you guys, make sure that you check what you have as leftover from your previous shopping at home before you come out with your list, so that you don't get to buy in excess. We move to the next point, which says that we should estimate only quantities that is going to last us for a particular length of time. For example, for me, I shop for food stock. I shop once a week for my family. So when you're shopping, make sure that you shop only quantity that is going to last you guys for a week before your next shopping, because when you shop in excesses, you see that maybe you won't preserve it well, or maybe the food is going to waste. The third point I would like to talk about is that we shouldn't buy items with very close expiring dates. For example, things like yogurt. We know that yogurt has very close expiring dates. When we are buying yogurt for the kids, we shouldn't buy it in very large quantities. Buy only in quantities that they can quickly consume, and then you buy for the next round. So, and then other groceries like our milk and other, especially this tin stuff, and even cereal, we should always make sure we check the expiring date. Don't buy something that the expiring date is already so close. If the expiring date meets that thing that has not yet already been consumed, the item is going to waste. The fourth thing I would like to talk about is that we should preserve our perishables and other food stuff well. We should learn how to preserve our perishables. For example, something like your vegetables, like your cabbage, like your onkongobong, or like even your huckleberry. For example, when you buy and come back, if you don't have to prepare it that particular day, something like your huckleberry, you can wash it, boil it, squeeze the water out of it, put it in a plastic bag and preserve it in the freezer. For your cabbage, you can slice it, and then wash it with warm water to remove the smelling water, or any other method that you normally use, and then put it in plastic bags and keep in the freezer. Things perishables like your tomatoes, you can, if you have soft tomatoes, if you bought tomatoes in large quantities, or maybe if you have tomatoes at home, leftover tomatoes that are soft, you boil and then blend and put them in containers and preserve in the freezer for daily use. For other stuff like your green spices, you can either take your unwashed green spices, that's the ones you brought from the market, wrap them in a newspaper and preserve them in the fridge, so that when you want to cook, you just remove, wash, and then you slice and you chop and use. Or better still, another method, you wash it. I usually use this other method I'm talking about now. You wash your green spices well, allow the water to drain from it, and then you slice it and put them in plastic bags and keep in the freezer. And it makes usage very easy and reduces wastage rather than keeping them outside to get dry. For your okra, you guys, I've already shown you guys on this channel, you can either slice your okra and put it in plastic bags and save and preserve in the freezer, or better still, you can blend it. Once you blend it, you put it in a container, in an airtight container, and keep it in the freezer. That way it keeps the okra, it preserves the okra well. And then for your beans and corn, you guys, you can put your beans and corn in an airtight container and then put something like this country onion. I don't know if you guys know country onion. We call it in Cameroon country onion. put it, get dry country onion and put it in those containers. That's for your beans and your corn. Or even this alligator of pepper, the dry one, you can put it. It helps a lot to preserve your beans and your corn for as long as you want. And then for your cooking spices like ginger and garlic, also you can peel, wash and blend, and then put it in an airtight container and keep in the freezer for daily use. And then we come now to how to preserve your gari and flour. For the flour that we use, this flour that we use in pastries, you put it in an airtight container or even in a plastic bag. You tie it very well and keep it in the fridge, or even if you have a large freezer, you can put it in the freezer. It preserves your flour for as long as you can, and it's not going to get bad. And even gari, you guys, because for us in Douala with a lot of humidity, we have a lot of humidity here in Douala, you guys, if you keep gari in Douala just outside like that, after some time it's going to have a kind of smell that you will not be able to eat it. So when I buy my gari, I either put it in containers and keep it in the fridge, or you better still, if you have a bigger freezer, you can tie it very well in plastic bags and keep in the freezer. It preserves your gari very well for as long as you want. We move to the fifth point. If you want to buy items, like new items, something that you want to try for your family for the first time, or maybe for the kids, don't go and buy it in very large quantities. Just buy small portions of it in a smaller quantity, so that if you try it and they don't like it, at least you won't feel too bad that you have wasted a lot of money in buying what your kids are not going to like, or maybe yourself, you're not going to like it. So when trying any new item, make sure that you buy it in a smaller quantity. We move to fruits, guys. When buying fruits for the family, let me say for the whole week, you can buy, when buying, don't buy very ripe fruits. Don't buy all your fruits to be very ripe. When you're buying, you can buy some ripe ones, the ones that they will consume earlier, and buy some half-ripe fruits that are not really ripe, so that by the end of the week those ones will get ripe and ready for consumption, rather than buy all ripe fruits and then they stay at home and get bad. So please, when buying your fruits, make sure you buy some ripe and some half ripe. As we move to the next point, when cooking for the family, make sure that you estimate and cook only the quantity that they are going to consume for either 1 or 2 days at most, so that you avoid wastage, rather than preparing something in a very large quantity that maybe they will eat and they will get tired and they will not like to eat it again at the same time. And if there are any leftovers, you can preserve them in the fridge. You can put them in plastic containers, and when putting them in containers, please make sure that you either label the containers, what you have in there and the date that you put it, or you put it in a transparent container, so that anytime you come to the freezer, you know that this is this and this is this, and we need to consume this before this particular time. And then you guys, if you have something like overripe bananas at home, you can use it to make smoothies, or even to make banana pancakes. These are very easy breakfast recipes that you can do it in less than no time. And also, if you don't want to do smoothies or banana pancakes, you can chop the bananas into pieces, put them in a plastic bag and save in the freezer for future use. For your rice and your spaghetti, you can also put them in airtight containers and keep them well, maybe in a cupboard or somewhere. Because for example, for us in Douala, there are a lot of rats. You buy rice and keep, the rats will start eating up the rice and maybe pooing inside the rice, which is not very healthy. So for something like your rice and your spaghetti, if you have containers, large containers that you can put inside, you can just put inside and lock very well, and it's going to stay good for as long as you want. And then we move to the last point, you guys, which says that when you're dishing food, either for yourself, for a visitor or for the kids, make sure that you dish it in smaller quantities. Estimate the quantity that you think that can be okay for them, or maybe in smaller quantities, preferably in smaller quantities, so that they can eat. If they are not satisfied, they will add, rather than dishing it in large quantities such that they will not be able to eat all, and at the end they are going to waste the food in such a way that another person will not be able to eat. So you guys, these are the points I decided to share today. because I know that this is going to go a long way to strengthen us on how to preserve our food at home and reduce wastage and save money. And please, you guys, if you have any other tips that can help us, that you know that I've not listed, that can help us to reduce food wastage at home, please let's meet down there in the comment section so that you can share with us. We are out here to learn. Please, if you have watched up to this point, I just want to say thank you so much. And please, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and support me. Hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that once any new video comes in, you quickly get a notification and you watch. Thank you so much, and see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.